Welcome.
Hello everyone.
Today we have a new video and
It's on Pista Motorsport, an Argentinian sim racing game.
let's just jump into the game.
So when you first boot up the game, you see the race mode which is currently being worked on, Time Attack, Test Day, which is essentially free practice, and the Garage, where you get to see the cars, the Formula 3, Tours of Pistas, Pro Cars, the Colino, GTS Gen 3, Formula 2. When you select a car, you can just select the liveries.
So we got a bunch of liveries here.
Let's pick the 37.
Yeah.
Again,
So let's just jump into the
sound.
settings. Yeah.
Sound is fairly simple. Master engine effects. Controls are assign buttons, force feedback.
Yeah.
This is
There's
where
a
you-
bunch of options to.
What assigns something to what. This is what we use for most things. Yep. Then back in the control menu, there's also force feedback.
Yeah, probably the most important one.
And the force feedback of this game isn't great, but we'll talk about that later. These are basically all the settings. Take a look. See what you think you will be able to tune.
Yeah. So
Anything else? For the next thing would be steering range, which is essentially just what you set for your wheel, so that's not too much. Here, left, right. Then there are the game settings, where you get to set your HUD, your
yeah, a lot of
your
settings.
assists. Well, this is not compared to R Factor 2.
Yeah, our factor is just built different.
Built different. And then graphics, fairly simple, not too much to work with.
Yeah. So
Let's head, well, not Time Attack, but let's head instead to Test Day.
Time Attack is currently being worked on.
Well, no, Time Attack is available. Well,
Yeah.
here are the tracks, La Plata, the large circuit, the large with a chicane, same thing basically, the short circuit, the corto, then Concepcion, the full circuit, the slightly cut off circuit, Rafaela, which is the oval of the game, it's with all the 3 chicanes, the road course version, the mixed version,
Yeah, and as you can see, all the tracks
the standard oval,
are in Argentina. And
Rosaria.
yeah, and we have a track here which is
San Nicolas.
popular on Automobilista 2.
Yeah, coming right up. Termas de Rio Hondo. You've probably seen it on Automobilista 2. And it's the track we will be driving on today.
Yes.
Also for settings, you can see you can also set up your wet weather, your time scale, your clouds. The wet goes by 5% all the way up to 100, but we won't be running that now. We'll just be driving out on track.
So when you look up, you can see garage, and there is a bunch of
Tuning things.
things.
And the general, you can change either the fuel or the tires. The Seco are slicks.
Sadly, we have no tire pressures.
Yep.
For now.
Yeah, as you can see, like they could put the tire pressures here, but for now there are none. The aerodynamics, since this is a high-speed circuit, we will be lowering them.
Yeah. So the suspension, we have
Only spring rates, front ride heights, and anti-roll bars. No shock dampening, nothing. Currently, there's nothing like that.
yeah, at least we have the main ones important. So yeah.
I'll be lowering the front height, and the rear right height I will be lowering also, but not as much. And the brakes, ooh yeah, this game's brakes are very deadly. They can either
They are
screw
sensitive also. Very.
Yeah. Press them a little bit too much and you're pretty much screwed. And this is the extras where, well, ABS would go. And now for the track walk. What do you have to say about the track walk?
The track walk is pretty useful for the games, such like
Let's take a look at this guy over here.
team manager sitting here.
His name's Joe.
Yeah.
I've just decided that now.
And it's
This is the car. This is the car model. It's pretty decent. I like it.
looking good, looking
Based on
shiny.
the real life model, and it's a nice livery I've picked.
Yeah.
Then
So
we
now
can
we can walk around the track, but we are not going to do that.
Yes, because as you can see, it's a big track, a big pit lane.
Yeah.
And you can't jump in this game, so yeah. So
let's jump to drive.
Yes, to the drive. Now, look here, take a look at the noises. How do you like them? This is the 2-car. All the possible cameras for this are the outside view, the front hood view, the camera view, like the TV camera, and then the cockpit, where I've turned off the steering wheel so that I can drive more normal.
Also, we can see the
reflection.
Not usual thing. It's Micron 5.
Yes, Micron 5, the greatest thing to ever exist.
Yeah, the Micron 5 is mostly used in karting.
Yep, but now as you can see, it's also used in cars.
Great choice.
Great choice, I agree. So as you can also see that the reflections are, well, they're pretty good. The mirrors, of course, at first were acting pretty weird, but now they're decent. You can actually see them instead of it just being a dark blue haze. The top mirror should show how it should be, and the side mirrors are, well, they're pretty okay-ish. This game is currently in early access, released over a year ago, so this review is a little late, but this is right after an update. A bit later we'll be driving the newest update car, but as of now we're Formula 2 Termasderio Honda. And now about the handling of the game. I'd say it's, well, the handling is, it's decent, it's nothing too crazy, although it does have some issues, such as with the tires. I hope we don't have them soon, but the tires are, well, they do heat up. They do have the essential, like tire wear, tire heat, tire temperatures. Yeah, that is good, but of course the lack of tire pressures does mean that the tire model is pretty limited. And speaking of the tire up, yep, as you can see here, I've spun, and that's mainly because the tires, well, together with the force feedback, they don't give a lot of depth. You don't really feel the road, so the tires end up getting, well, you don't feel them. There's no feeling, there's no soul. But as you can see, my tires did get dirty, but that really doesn't have an effect on how it drives. It's just a visual thing. Speaking of visuals, the graphics of this game, well, they're pretty good. The car models are decent, I'd say. They're nothing too crazy. We'll be later driving a Toyota, and well, you'll see that it's good. It's nothing terrible, but it's okay for 15 euro. The lighting's actually, I'd say it's really good, except for like the mirrors here. And the reflections, well, we'll be driving in wet conditions later, you'll see that the reflections of this game are really good. It's nothing pre-baked. It doesn't reflect the same thing. It actually reflects what's happening around you on the track. Of course, as you can see, it's not on the same level as iRacing or Assetto Corsa Competizione or even R Factor, but this is a small studio which, well, this is their first game. It's an early access, so we shouldn't be, well, hammering it too much because, well, early access, this is not the full thing, and the graphics, well, although this game can be pretty immersive, the graphics are not the main thing you want in a racing game. The main thing you want is for the driving to feel good. That's why people like returning to older Need for Speed games or the first R Factor, because the handling was good. Now, like we've touched before, force feedback. The force feedback in this game is very lacking. The base settings, which I am driving on right now, they're not great. They're nothing too crazy. They are just, how do I put this? They are just, well, what? The force feedback, well, it's, like I've said, it's lacking. It feels very weak until you start spinning. Then it suddenly just snaps in, and then you overcorrect and then end up spinning because all of a sudden your wheels started finally pulling. So the force feedback, it really does need some work to it. Otherwise, the cars are going to be very snappy, and the people are not going to return to this game and go to a game like R Factor, which is similar price and has similar features for hot lapping, which this game is, well, all for right now. This game is only for hot lapping. There's no real other type of substance. So this is only time trials and practice. there's no racing currently, so the developers should be mostly focusing on the handling aspect of the game and also retaining players with AI. We can finally move on to the actual driving part of, well, wet driving with an entirely different car. This was a high downforce rear-wheel drive. Next will be a Toyota Yaris race car.
One of the weaker points of the game is wet physics. So some cars feel like they have almost no grip in the wet, while others may feel they have too much grip. So in high-end sims like ACC, grip loss in the rain in gradual, you can feel the tires losing traction as you push too hard. In Pista Motorsport, grip loss can feel sudden and artificial.
Like we just did right now for me.
Yeah, making wet driving frustrating rather than challenging in realistic way. Some tracks allow for surprisingly strong braking in the wet, while others may feel they have impossible to slow down properly, as if the tires aren't interacting with the wet surface realistically. Modulating the throttle in the wet should be key, but sometimes the game doesn't punish aggressive acceleration properly, while other times the car loses grip unrealistically fast.
Okay, now for the track-specific differences. Okay, some tracks I would say have these. Their puddles are there just for show, like the oval track, for example. Like the puddles there, you could be going very fast over them, over 200 kilometers an hour. You hit a puddle, what happens? Nothing. On, for example, the track we are driving on right now, you could hit a puddle and you'll feel it. So this is, I'd say it's a rather big issue, because if the wet conditions feel inconsistent, like on some tracks, there's no punishment for driving on a puddle, while on others, you can drive straight over a puddle and just lose control. That's not great game design. That's inconsistent. Like, if you're gonna make a wet weather system, you're gonna have to make it so that it works on in all tracks equally. Just because the track is at a different level, or it has its differences like height, elevation, whatever, it should still be the same thing. Now, the fact that it sometimes looks one way and feels a different way, like, yes, the main big puddles look like, yes, they will affect your car. They will affect your car, like some of the bigger puddles. But like right now, these smaller ones, they don't really affect you. These ones are just for show, just to show off the game's reflections, which, I mean, it's not entirely bad, like, but it's not good either. I'd rather have my puddles either actually affecting me or not, or just not there. And this game overdoes the puddles, kind of like the Formula 1 games. It should be more like these puddles here. They should be, you know, should be able to feel them, but it feels like I'm just driving on a damp track. And the spray effects well, they're okay. We'll look at them in replay mode later, but overall, they are not great. And the rain, well, there's none. There's no rain. You can either set how wet the track can be, but after that, you can't. You can't touch it at all, which is one of this game's technical limitations. Like, force feedback on front-wheel drive cars are here. You got a good example. I tried to save it. It did not want to be saved. Now, the tires, they don't feel connected. They feel like the water is like a barrier in between. I'm driving with wet tires, which are supposed to pump out the water and let the tires touch the road. Here, it feels like it's slightly, just above the track. It's not really touching it. And there's no clear difference between this.
Yeah, so some sims let you feel the difference between slightly damp track and a fully waterlogged circuit. In Pista Motorsport, this transition isn't well defined.
Oh, and the wet driving lines too, they're not very well simulated. There's no difference by using a different wet line. I've tried and nope, it's all equally zero grip.
Right now, the wet weather physics in Pista Motorsport sometimes feels unfinished and inconsistent.
But that's literally true. The game is incomplete, and there are gonna be bound some inconsistencies. This is an alpha version. This is not the complete version. Like we shouldn't be expecting this to be the next R Factor or the next Automobilista 2 killer. It's still gonna need a lot of work until it reaches that level.
Yeah, definitely.
And what I'd say the things that really need improvement is the wet weather grip levels. Like in the wet weather, one of the things I've noticed in karting, it's actually rather easy to catch a slide in the wet because the rear wheels, when they break traction, they have less grip. The front wheels always have more grip, and since I'm currently driving a front wheel drive car, I should, back there when I spinned, I should have been able to catch that slide by just pressing on the gas. But you see, in this game, it feels like all the tires just lose grip. One tire loses grip, all lose grip, which is not realistic. The tires are not equally all one single being. They're different. One tire's on the front right, the other's on the rear left. One could drive over a puddle, it could feel the effects of the puddle, not all the tires. And of course, speaking of puddles, they still could use some work. I mean, like this track here, it does simulate the puddles, which is a good thing. So you should set your puddles to something. No, not set your puddles to something, but you should have them like this on all tracks. Like they should be unforgiving. This is 100%, and honestly, while driving this does not feel too hard, not too complicated, but on other tracks it feels like you just touch the brakes, you fly off, you touch a puddle, nothing happens. What you expect never happens, which is not a good thing.
Definitely. So, what do you have to say about the track configuration?
The one that we're currently driving?
Yes.
Yes, it's good, but some corners are too tight. They remind me of the Abu Dhabi section, the Abu Dhabi hotel section. Yes, the hotel section, where it's just a bunch of sharp corners, one after another. Like, of course, this is not the developers' fault. The developers are not responsible for this track, but overall, the track's pretty good. Like, the track models are decent. Although, yes, it still does need some work. It's good. It's good. It's not terrible. It's not something I would call trash. It's good. It's good. I can work with this.
Yeah. What do you have to say about the wet graphics?
The wet graphics, really good. That is good. And the graphics on the reflections are really good, I'd say. Of course, this game, they still sometimes feel a bit unrealistic. Overall, they're decent. They're good. I like them. Now for the replay. Replay mode, it's
pretty good.
Yeah,
I would say.
It has this. It has. You can choose the lap which you want to go to, which is honestly a really good feature.
You have some really good camera angles here.
Yeah. Like the onboard camera, I like this one.
Yeah.
Even it simulates the shaking. Then there's the drone camera, which we won't be looking at right now. It was the onboard camera, driver camera, and this is the trackside camera, where you can also see the spray. And it's decent, but it looks a bit late, like it's lagging behind the car. Like at low speeds, yeah, but at low speeds it looks a bit too aggressive. At high speeds it looks like it's just trailing behind.
So we talked about the positive sides of the game, so now the negative sides of the game. That we spotted negative sides. Oh, negative sides. Okay, there is no negative sides. The game is fully developed and there is no need for more improvements, just as updates and yeah, and please remove the gun, thank you. And okay, the negative sides. Oh, no negative sides. The game is perfectly fine. It's fully developed and it's amazing. You should buy it. Definitely you buy it. Yeah. There's a lot of negative sides. No negative sides. The game is just amazing. Yeah. I love Pista Motorsport, and I think it should be top seller. Yeah, thank you a lot. If you don't see me, you know what happened to me.